Many people wish they had a high IQ. They wish they were more intelligent because they assume that with higher intelligence, it equals an easier life. And while that's true in some areas, I don't believe it's true overall. It is true in the area of your career, your job, certain skills. You're going to go way, way ahead because the intelligence is going to take you to places that people that don't have the same IQ as you, to places that you never would have dreamed of. But that is the paradox. Because you are now in this different realm of thinking, that excludes you from the rest of society. So I myself, I have an IQ of 136, and that puts me in the upper 2% of intelligence in the entire world. So out of 100 people in a room, I'll be top 2 smartest. That's how it would work. And that has its pros and cons. I've taught myself everything I've ever done. So playing piano and being a concert pianist, running my own band, I taught piano myself, all on my own. I did not need a teacher. Running my own production company, I did it all my own, didn't need a teacher. Learning how to use a camera, videography, photography, learned it on my own, didn't need a teacher. Learning Spanish by myself during lockdown, learned it on my own, didn't need a teacher. In fact, I would rather not have a teacher because I am smarter than most teachers by definition. In fact, I would prefer not to have a teacher. I detest the whole educational system. I prefer to do things on my own. That's because I am smarter than most people. So being in group situations usually slow me down. And that comes with a lot of pros and cons. A lot of the pros is I can just get ahead. I can get ahead rapidly. I can get ahead fast. And I can move on with my stuff. And I can learn skills so quick, like faster than most. But you have to realize having a high intelligence isn't this kind of like gift from God where it's like, oh my God, once you have that, your life is perfect. No. In fact, far from that. To the contrary, life becomes very, very difficult in ways that you wouldn't initially expect. You do get the gains with, like I said, your career, your job, your work. But everywhere else, let me tell you, it sucks. You don't want this curse. In fact, if I could lower my IQ today, I would. I would have it around maybe 120. Yeah, 120 would be good for me because at that point, you're smart, but you're not smart enough to be too smart, which secludes you from the rest of the general population. Having the high IQ is a curse because now you're singled out and saying just to turn it down or turn it off is as foolish as saying don't be a human, turn off being a human. My high IQ-ness will seep through the crevices no matter how hard I try to repress it. And you just can't fake being smart or being dumb. There's certain things that a person will do that will really be telltale signs of how smart they really are. And even if a smart person tried to act dumb, there's going to be some certain things that they'll do, which is like, hey, that guy's actually smart. What's he playing at here? And the problem with having the high IQ is the way your brain works is different from the rest of the population. The way you think, the way you react to certain stimuli, the way you behave, it does not fit with the general population. And because of that, that will single you out and people won't want to hang with you. People won't want to chill with you. People won't want to be around you if you were to be your always on smart self. Okay. I don't want to say that high IQ people fake it, but in order to survive in life, the high IQ individual will need to basically dumb themselves down wherever they go. So because the topics that interest them all the time. You just can't bring those topics up at a dinner party, at the club, at a function, at random events. You know, the places where you would mostly go day to day, you don't talk about high IQ things. I don't want to sound arrogant in this video, but I'm just trying to tell people how it is, the reality of it from my point of view. And that's the next problem. If I was going to be completely honest about how I thought about my high IQ and how I relate to other people, I would be called arrogant. I would be called things that make me seem like I'm better than everybody else. I would be called like overconfident. I'd be called really negative things. So even in this video, I'm really trying to like be careful of my words, because I know what will happen if I say what I truly think and what I truly believe in. Because the problems that I face having a high IQ, I cannot complain about them because I'll be called arrogant. I'll be called things that make me seem like a bad, negative person. So I can't really even tell people what I truly feel. So being high IQ is kind of like being rich. You know, you're not allowed to complain about your problems if you're rich, because hey, you've got money and that solves all your problems, which obviously isn't true. Same thing for high IQ, you know. What I'm trying to say to you guys is high IQ people dumb themselves down through conversations all the time, okay? You got to remember, the high IQ individual wants to talk about high IQ things all the time, okay? So this whole thing about, you know, once I finish school, or, you know, once I finish whatever assignment I have, you turn off, you know, the switch of learning and education. No. For a high IQ individual, learning and educating themselves is a non-stop thing. Like, I've heard certain people say, like, why would I want to watch a documentary? Like, I don't want to learn. I just want to relax and just enjoy things, not have to think. Whereas for me, it's the total opposite. I never just want to just not think. I want to be thinking all the time. So when I see things on YouTube that like food mukbangs, when I see things like football shootouts in the goalpost, when I see things like sports, any sort of entertainment which is just pure entertainment but hold no educational value, like certain game shows where it's just about fun, eating hot spicy foods and Mr. Beast, all those kind of things, I just feel like, wow, what a waste of time, because those serve no educational value. For me, I have to be stimulated by anything I get myself involved in. I do not watch things on television if they do not educate me. It has to be something which is going to get me ahead, which is going to make me smarter. There is no turning off for me. That comes in clutch with your career, your job, your work. Yeah, it does. But in general society, it's absolute L. Because when you go down to the pub, you don't talk about high IQ stuff. You talk about how's it going, emotions, relationships, general day-to-day stuff, which is not really, to be honest, on a higher plane of thinking where I want to be. So because of that, I have to dumb myself down. And luckily, I'm not that smart. I'm smart, but I'm not like nerdy Einstein geeky smart where I just can't relate to people. I am able to kind of socialize and get along with it and do what I've got to do, and I can bear it. And I would say socially, I'm a 10 out of 10. I'm really good at socializing with people, meeting new people, making new friends, going around, finding new people. But really and truly, I'll be honest, it's really just a show. If I was going to talk about what I really want to talk about, when I go to parties, when I go to clubs, when I go out with friends, most people will be like, ugh, I don't want to talk to this guy. So in a way, I don't want to call myself fake, because I'm not. What it is, I'm not lying about what I'm talking about. I'm just not talking about certain things that I want to talk about. It's kind of like having many cars in the garage and only driving 2 of them. So you're not lying about what cars you have. It's just that you're not showing all the rest of your cars. Hope that makes sense. If they are truly gifted with the game of sociability, they will learn quickly that whatever interests them, they cannot see it in public. Okay, they've got to tone it down real quick. Otherwise, you'll be socially annihilated. You will be expelled socially from most people if you go ahead and talk about quantum mechanics at a party. If you talk about psychology at a party. If you talk about Mozart at a party. Heck, most people don't even know what Mozart even is. You really have to just non-stop dumb it down all the time. And it is very, very, very rare to meet someone where you don't have to do that. I mean, I can count on my hand the number of people where I can just go at what I really want to talk about. Okay? You're really lowering your own self to fit in with society as a high IQ individual. And that's really, in the long term, going to take you to a place where it's like loneliness, because, well, everyone else is able to talk about what they truly like. You can't. So everyone's talking about football and like sports. It's like, I have no interest in kicking a ball into a goalpost. I'm not trying to demean the people that do that for a living. Of course not. They make way more money than me. But you've got to understand on an intelligence level that gives high IQ people nothing. To kick a ball into the goalpost for 90 minutes, that just doesn't work for us. It's just so unstimulating. But that's what many people talk about. You know, when I was in school, that's what 90% of the boys would do during break time and lunchtime. Kick that ball. They would kick that ball all day. After school, before school, during school, in PE. Whereas every single break time and lunchtime, I would be in the music room playing the piano, getting better and smarter. And the reason I liked playing the piano was because it stimulated my brain. It massaged my brain. It made me smarter. It made me have to think quick on my feet. I cannot slow down. Even my speech, I find it harder to talk slow than I find it hard to talk fast. Talking slow for me is a pain. And the only reason I'm talking slow right now is because I went on a bicycle ride before this. You will generally see a fluctuation on my videos of fast speech or slow speech. And let me tell you, the ones where I talk slow is because I'm tired, because I've done something. Like worked the whole day, go on a bicycle ride and did many, many miles on the bike at fast paces. And that's why I'm able to talk slow right now, because right now I'm actually tired. I'm really tired in this exact moment, but that's making the video go a lot smoother for the masses, because they don't like when I talk really fast like that. They don't like it, because my brain just thinks so quick that it actually hurts to talk slow, because if I talk slow, I'm literally going at a slower pace than my mind, and then I'm going to lose certain thoughts. Yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult. So I'm just constantly, and I'm doing this not only in these videos, but when I talk to people in real life, when I go out, I'm slowing myself down. I'm lowering the level of intellect that I'm bringing to the table. And what I've really learned over the decades is to be good social butterfly, just get rid of all of the high IQ stuff, okay? Don't talk about education. Don't talk about anything of knowledge or learning. Cancel it out. What I do when I meet people, I just act dumb. I act really stupid. I talk about things that don't mean anything whatsoever and just joke around, behave like an idiot, have fun. And that, I have found, is what gets people to like me quick and fast. Okay? That's in terms of people that I'm not gonna have a long-term friendship or relationship with. If I deem it so that I want to have a long-term friendship with the person or get into a relationship with the girl, I will then show the true sides of myself. But at first, I'm dumbing it down all the way. Okay, I'm dumbing it down to 0. And then depending on how they react to it, I will slowly bump up the level of conversation until they really reach their limit. And yeah, because I'm top 2% in the world, there's very few people that I meet that they surpass my limit. So usually it's quite fast for me to hit the limit of most people's top line. And because the thing is, what you'll soon come to realize, if you keep barging on people's top line of intelligence, they're really going to get annoyed. So you're going to have to be very wary of hitting the upper limit. It's kind of like hitting the upper limit in the revs of a car. You don't want to be at the red line all the time. You want to be in a safe, comfortable zone. So it's kind of like you have to kind of just go easy on people when you're this smart. And again, I'm not like geeky smart. I'm not like nerdy smart, or like engineering and building planes. I'm not that kind of smart. I'm just smart enough, really. And I know that for those people that are into like building planes and creating products and doing some crazy stuff that I can't even relate to, scientific stuff, equations, I'm not good at any of that stuff. They find it harder, because the smarter you are, the harder you're going to be able to find it to socialize with people and relate to other people below you. So yeah, and again, I'm not trying in this video to make people feel bad. I'm trying to just tell you how it is from my point of view. It's a very sad place to live for a high IQ individual, because you're going to feel that constant loneliness all the time. Because you're never really able to express your true self, you know, with most people that you meet, you know. My parents will go to their grave never really understanding me. They're just not smart enough to really understand how far my brain goes. So they will never know who their son really is. They just don't understand it. They just don't get it. It's puzzled. And when I do lotion on the full force of my intelligence onto people, you know, they usually have that kind of like deer in headlights look, where it's like, please stop, please slow down. So I've just learned how to just accommodate them. Yeah. And the way I do it is just by cracking non-stop jokes, acting stupid, lowering my intelligence, and just... But in terms of friendships, now I've got rid of most of my friends, like 99.9% of them. All the friends I had before in high school, all the friends I've had before coronavirus, I don't have them no more as friends. They're all gone. Because I'm just bored of they're not trying to get ahead up there, so it's like I'm just not stimulated by them. It's a very difficult way to live, and I need that stimulation all the time. And one way I found to fit in easier is drinking alcohol. That is great. Alcohol is great for dumbing yourself down, and just people like me a lot more than alcohol because I just dumb myself down. And so that's why for many parts of my life I was alcoholic, drinking every single day. And the reason wasn't to have a fun time with it or I enjoyed the alcohol. My brain switched off with the alcohol, and I really felt more alike and fitting in. Yeah, it's really sad. So all the topics that I like to talk about, I don't really get to discuss those with most people, like psychology and theories, and I want to express those sides of myself and talk to people about what I'm discovering, because I'm constantly making theories in my head all the time, and I'm constantly trying to work things out in my head, and I want to discuss those with people at a rapid, fast speed, like boom, but I don't really often get to do that with most people. There's very few. So I've learned to just not expect to have those interactions with people, because when I did expect to have those interactions. I became sick because those desires were never fulfilled. So I've learned just not to want to have those desires fulfilled. I've learned to forego those desires because I'll probably never get them fulfilled for me. Yeah. So in these days now, I'd just prefer not to go out, not to meet people, because honestly, it doesn't satisfy me anyway. And you know what's funny? I like life better this way, and I stay home and I watch things to make myself smarter. I read books, I learn new skills, I just try to become better and better. And that's what fulfills me. I don't get fulfilled socially. Do you still want to be smart like this? It's quite depressing, really. You don't. Because you want to fit in, and most people are average, so you want to fit in with the average. The world is designed for the average, so the more you deviate from the average, whether that be smarter or not as smart, on both sides of the IQ spectrum, you're going to be left out. Because there's less of you on the extremes. Yeah. You're in a desert by yourself. And the sad thing is, in that desert, you can see all the other people having so much fun. And you really want to be like them, but you just can't because your brain doesn't switch off the way they... Yeah, I'm being very careful with my words. So it affects everything, really. You know, even TV shows. Most of the TV shows that I like, most people don't like them. They like... So I can't even discuss what I'm really watching of most people. And even, you know those moments where you're at a friend's house and loads of people are there and you're choosing a show to put on? Yeah, I never tell people the show I really want to put on because they never want to watch it. It's never their cup of tea. Music-wise... Oh my God, I don't want to get started in that. But look, I listen to all types of music. And many people say that they do that too, but really, they don't. They really don't. Most people stick to one form of music. I will listen to everything from jazz to classical to pop to hip hop to rap to grime. But really and truly, what I'm really stimulated by is the high level playing of instruments. So that's classical, jazz, rock, metal. When they're doing some crazy stuff. But most people don't want to hear the crazy stuff. So they're more interested in this basic stuff like hip hop with the basic beats and pop with the basic melodies and all this kind of stuff. And it's not most pop, it's not even played like on the spot live. And half of the fun of music is being able to pull it off live because it takes such a high IQ. Most people don't care about that. They just want a nice simple beat that's not played live. It's made on Logic. Boom, 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 boom. And they make it. So wherever I go, I'm not even listening to the music that I really want to listen to. If I'm at a club, the music I really want to rave to, they would never put that on at a club. So even then, I'm not really getting what I want. So I've learned to love R&B, hip hop, and there's a lot of songs I like in R&B and hip hop. But I'll never love hip hop the way I love high level jazz or metal or rock or classical music. It's not the same. As a high IQ individual, you'll never be able to truly fit in. Nothing will quite fit you. The educational system wasn't meant for you. The workplace wasn't meant for you. Wherever you go, you're an outcast. So you're just living a double life. The high IQ up there, brain up there, and then how you emote it, how you relate to it through your voice, through your actions, through your movements. It's two different lives for the high IQ individual. And it's a very hard way to live. Because of my high IQ, I really have the tendency to compress a lot of data into the result, okay? Whereas what I've learned is most people in this world, they compress their emotions into the result. Because I'm as smart as I am, I know that pragmatically, emotions have very little to do with the answer. I'll give you an example. You know, I have this specific friend of mine, and he doesn't like going on airplanes for fear that he might die on them. And emotionally, I totally get that fear because it's like, Yeah, I'm always like kind of low key worried when the plane takes off, because it's like, raw, this is mad. Like, a plane's taking off. Like, it's like almost godlike to have 300 people at 42,000 feet and we're flying different countries in a number of hours. It's nuts. That process for me is still magical to this day. So I get the fear from an emotional point of view, but I'm able to overcome that fear with pure data. I know that only a few commercial airplanes crash with fatalities every single year, if that. So I know not to be scared. I just turn it off, because it's like, why the hell am I scared of being in a plane when I know that there's way more chance of me dying in a car going down the road from where I am right now, and I do that every single day. But in talking to this guy, he wasn't able to take away his fear because of the data. The data just didn't affect him. It's like, he said, I don't care, I'm emotionally attached to it. But I'm able to just take the data. It's like, whoa, I know what the facts are. I don't care. And I find out all the calculations, and I make a risk factor. I make conclusions based off pure raw data that I find, that I stipulate, that I put together, that I calculate, and I know where I should go from there. And most people don't do that. Most people really are moved primarily through their emotions. And that has caused a lot of tension for me, because people say, you're too straightforward, you're too black and white. Well, a lot of times things are black and white. And maybe if they saw that way, maybe they'd get ahead a lot faster. But I'm the wrong one, because I'm the rarer person. Society calls me the wrong one for thinking like that. Not because I'm wrong, just because there's less of me than them. So they're gonna go with groupthink, and I'm the strange one for just going with logic over everything else. And I totally get that there's certain situations where emotion has to come front and foremost, like raising kids and relationships, even in the workplace, relating to other people. And I'm relating to them in that way. But here's the funny thing. They don't relate to me in the way to say there's certain times where pure logic wins too. And you have to listen to me or anyone like me when I give you that information. So this is the paradox for a high IQ individual. The world wants us to listen to them and fit them, but no one wants to fit to us. It's like, okay, cool. I'll mold a bit to fit your needs, but who the hell is fitting to my needs? But in a sad way, they couldn't, even if they wanted to anyway, because they haven't got the intelligence to do it. So even if they really wanted to fit to my needs, they couldn't pull it off, because they don't understand where I'm coming from, because my brain's just thinking faster. And I know certain people are going to watch and say, look at this guy, he's so arrogant, rah. But we have to draw a line here. There are smarter people in this world. And I'm just trying to tell you guys my experience. I'm not even rocket science smart. I'm not NASA smart. I'm really not. I'm just like average smart. So for the people that are like rocket science, genius smart, like, they can do like stuff in NASA and stuff, what I'm saying is going to apply to them way, way more. And some of them won't even bother to even mold to anybody but themselves, because their brain power is just so far ahead that they just cannot relate to the average part of society. So they're not going to make any friends. They're not going to be able to socialize. Listen, I can party, I can dance, I can fit in. I know what to do. I know all the moves. And that's because I'm in this limbo position with being smart, but not so smart that I have forgotten, and I don't know, I don't understand the struggles of the average individual. I'm able to relate to both sides. So I'm in this strange limbo situation where I don't even fit into the really, really nerdy group. I don't fit in there, can't relate to them. And I can't fit into the average either. I'm just in my own little lane here, just trying to get by. So yeah, that's my life. And that's the life that I've resigned myself to live for the rest of my life. I know what it takes now. And these problems used to cause me so much pain when I was younger. But the moment I started to think, yeah, well, this is how life is going to be, that's when I became somewhat happy with the situation that I found myself in. Yeah. Even saying it to myself right now, I'm thinking, have I really accepted it though? Because what's going on right now is I haven't really said these things to myself in a long time. And all the pain that I've undergone through being this way is now coming back to the surface. And there's a part of me which is like, oh my God, this is going to be so long. But then there's a part of me that says, well, you know what? This is how it is. Oh well, boo-hoo. And there's a part of me that says, the reason why I'm as successful as I am today is because of my high IQ. I would not have been able to get as far as I am today without my high IQ. Without my high IQ, I not run a business. Without my high IQ, I never learned how to play the piano. Without my high IQ, I never learned how to speak Spanish. Without my high IQ, I never would have learned how to video and photograph as well as I do. I never learned how to edit as well as I do. I wouldn't have got all these big clients without my high IQ. You know, most conversations that I get myself into, I know where the conversation is going to head before it's even finished. Like within a sentence or two, I can predict what the other person is going to say. And that really puts me in a space of boredom. Because I know what's going to happen next. Life of the high IQ individual is boredom all the time. And we're just looking for things to stimulate our brains, man. We're just so bored. That's why I can't watch any shows that are predictable, like NYPD 9/11, all these, like, you know, these basic shows like NCIS and all. I can't stand those things. I can only watch shows that are non-stop moving in crazy directions, non-stop not being obvious, non-stop being, you know, on the edge of my seat. I like to be in the unknown. When I'm in the known, I get so bored. And I'm in the known so often during most things in life. And for that reason, I can't enjoy what most people can enjoy. I don't enjoy sport. I don't enjoy most movies. I don't enjoy most music. I don't enjoy most things that the general public likes to enjoy. So I have to resign myself to myself. And it's only going to get worse over time because the gap really gets stronger over time. Like the gap wasn't so big during high school because, you know what, we're all in the same year group, we're in the same class, But the gap has gotten really big now because now that, you know, I'm 30 this year and I run my own company, I have clients all across the world. And because of that gap getting wider and wider, I have now reclused myself. I'm an extrovert by nature, guys. I love being around people. But because of my high IQ, that's now taken over the extroversion side of myself. And it has been a real eye-opener running a company and having staff and being able to relate to them. Because before this company, I would mostly work on my own, but now I have to work with a team. And that's interesting, learning how to take my expertise and share it with people that work for me. It's interesting how I have to like relay those thoughts in my head to get the result. Yeah. Real interesting. It's a sad way to live. If I could click a switch and have a low IQ today, I damn would. This is the Hezron Springer Show. Take care.